Morning, everybody, and welcome to this video series on how to prepare for your exams. So we were preparing a video series on this for a while now, and we were supposed to upload it last week. We just had a couple of delays, but over the course of this week, we will be uploading different segments of our course. In all likelihood, it'll be 10 videos in total, which will be uploaded onto YouTube. So just make sure that you keep your eye out for that. So before I get started, I came across this motivational quote. I'm not sure who exactly quoted it. I haven't been able to actually find the person on Google, but it's something which I think a lot of you guys will definitely be able to resonate with. And it says, "The past cannot be changed. The future is yet in your power." So I'm hoping that this does speak to you guys in some way, and it does, make you guys realize that whatever your exam situation is at the moment, whether you've got exam entrance or you don't have exam entrance, right now, there's nothing you can do about that. You can only focus on what you can do going forward. So if you are unfortunately not going to be writing, or well, at this point you wouldn't know because all the test four results are not out yet. But if you do find yourself in that position, it is unfortunate, but look, it's not the end of the world, and I will be uploading another video on that later on, right? So I don't want to derail too much from the point of this video. But if you are feeling demotivated at the moment and you're really looking like this is a huge mountain which you're just very unsure as to how you're going to be able to climb this, look, it's natural to be overwhelmed, and perhaps your year hasn't gone quite the way you would have hoped for it to have gone, but you can turn it around in the exam. It's not impossible. The fact that you are in the exam means that you should do everything in your power to make something of it. There are a lot of people who would be dying just to be in the position to even write the exam. So you've got that. So even if your year mark is literally on the borderline, don't give up, because there are a lot of people who would take that. So if someone would take that and would want to be in your situation, clearly your situation can't be that bad, and you can do something about it. So that is my advice to you going forward. Okay, looking at the agenda for this video, yeah, first and foremost, I would like to ask you guys to please subscribe to our channel. Subscription doesn't cost anything. So if I give you an example, let's go. Okay, so for example, I'm a big Formula One fan. So on YouTube, I've come across the Formula One official channel, and you'll see this red block over here which says subscribe, right? So if you click on it, you're going to see this little bell. And when you click on that bell, that's going to happen. And what that means is that you'll automatically get all notifications every time, or I'll automatically get all notifications every time this channel uploads a video. And why this is relevant is because every time we upload a video, it does make it a bit difficult for us to keep posting it on the group, because firstly, all our posts do need to be approved. So it's not like if we post something, you're going to see it immediately. Once it gets approved, that's the only time you are going to see it. And the admins generally are quite good with that. So I'm not going to, complain about that. But, it does create a lot more work for them on the one hand. And on the other hand, it's, constantly posting on groups on Facebook sort of gives Facebook a red flag that we could be spamming the group, or that we could be acting in a way that isn't in terms of the policies. So that's why we can't keep on uploading, or rather sharing the link in each group that we belong to each time. And in the groups which we manage, that's fine. So in our study support groups, it would work. But if you are not part of that and you are part of another group and we upload a video, we aren't going to post the link to that YouTube group, to that Facebook group each time. So for example, this is a 10-part video series we're not going to keep posting the link into the CTA group here. So if you've subscribed, the moment we do upload a video, you'll automatically receive the notification that CA Quadrant has uploaded a new video, and then you can go and check it out. So I urge you to please subscribe. Like I said, it doesn't cost you anything, but it does. It's sort of like being part of a mailing list. So you'll receive notifications each time we upload a video. You won't miss out on it. Right. Then, as I said, it's going to be a 10-part video series. The reason is because we want to go into detail with regards to each video that we do and with regards to each tip that we're going to touch on. It's very senseless to just give you guys an overall feel as to what to do, but then you're not sure how to go about doing it. So I mean, you guys can go and Google this, and it'll be easy, to do that. But the thing is that you need to know, okay, how do I actually implement these things practically? And that's where a lot of students struggle. So that's why we're going to be going into detail. And instead of shooting one video, which is going to be over an hour or maybe even 2 hours long, which is tiring, we're going to rather do it in segments. So please do keep an eye out for that. We are going to touch on exam technique, or we might just do a separate video series on that because that makes a huge difference. I am currently marking for UNISA for MAC 4861, and I can tell you now, students who have a good exam technique, it makes all the difference. It really, really, really makes a difference. You'd be amazed at how much better they score and how much better they are able to get their points across. It's something which I cannot emphasize any more than I have in the past, and it's something which I've learned from my own personal experience. So please make sure that you do keep an eye out for our exam technique videos, which we will be doing. Other questions, if you guys do have any other questions, please type them out in the comment box below, or you can comment on our Facebook page. More than happy to hear from you on there. And we can even prepare a video series for you guys. We have a couple of webinars which are going to be rolled out probably in September. It wouldn't happen this month. We don't actually have a revision program. We have been asked by a lot of people if we would do one. We didn't have anything for a revision program in the pipeline. But due to requests, for example, we decided, okay, certain topics which are really proving to be problematic, we are going to create a class for that, and you can attend the online class. So it'll just be that class which you register for and you pay for, and we'll try and organize all of that as soon as possible, and then just get everything to you within the week, or maybe at least before the end of the month, right? But we will keep in contact with that. So, not to waste any more time, we're going to look at the first point, and the first thing which you need to do is to organize your study space. Right. Now, this makes a big difference, but it's something which a lot of students don't have control over. So it's something which you do need to really, really, really spend some time thinking about before you even start studying. Now, if you are living, for example, in a very crowded home, then getting some time to study by yourself, away from the distraction, away from the noise, actually being able to do papers under exam conditions, having the space to even lay out all of your textbooks and your hand guides, or your handbooks rather, and just to actually have that space to study. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I used to study, there would be 3 textbooks at the same time which are open. I've got my exam paper on the one side, I've got my examination pad, or whichever booklet I was using to do the questions in. On the other side, it was, and then my laptop is somewhere as well. So I needed a lot of space around me to study. And if if that's the way you study, then you are going to struggle if you have a very confined space. So you do need to first make sure that you've got that sorted out. So to elaborate more on the space on this point, right? I've said find a study space which is conducive to effective studying. So to be honest, we can study wherever we are. You could go in and sit in the car and study. You're probably not going to study very effectively there, but you could go and take your IFRS handbook and go over IFRS 16 or IFRS 15, and yeah, maybe you'd learn something, but I don't think it's going to be very effective. I think you'd spend a lot of time getting nowhere. So it's the same thing at home, right? You need to find a space which is conducive to effective studying, right? And I've said that your bedroom is not a study, even if you think it is. And this is very true for me. And this was something which I had to learn the hard way, because I'd have all my notes and my textbooks and my handbooks and my legislation and my chat letters and my laptop and my past exam papers and my additional questions from whichever study support I was using. And it's like, you know the whole thing becomes so cluttered, and you don't even know what you have. You don't even know where your notes are. You so unsure of what you have and what you don't have. And your bedroom is generally um your haven, I guess, within your house. It's your chill out zone. It's your place where you're going to relax. So once you're there, and yes, it is important to be relaxed while you study, but you can't be too relaxed, because then your mind sort of switches off. Then you're not taking it seriously enough. So, how many times haven't you guys experienced this, where you'll be in your bedroom and you're studying, and maybe you'll go over something for 10 or 15 minutes, and then you'll decide that you're tired and you need to nap for another 15 minutes, and then that 15 minutes becomes half an hour, becomes an hour, then you decide you're hungry, then you go and get something to eat, then after you've had something to eat, you need to rest again, and then you start studying. And before you know it, 3 or 4 hours have gone, and you've only gotten 15 minutes of actual studying done. And that is where your study time is going. That is where your hours are being lost. And in those 4 hours where you could have been done with that section, you are not even starting it. And then what happens? You're stressed out and you even, more anxious. So you go into your room and yeah, you automatically want to just sort of withdraw and not go towards your studying. It's like you just want to lie down and think about life, or think about the studying, or reflect on why you chose this career path. And you know before you know it, your study leave is finished and you've done nothing. So please make sure that you don't make the mistake of studying in your bedroom. I know it's difficult, but it's something which you need to break away from. It's not winter anymore, so it's not that cold outside. So you can, I mean, for test three and test four, I can completely understand. But now with spring seemingly, on the way, or almost here, in fact, I'd say that you do need to really get out of there, right? Use your bedroom for its purpose. It's not a study, right? Then I said, try to study in alternative locations. So, okay, fine. We all don't live in a mansion. We all don't have a study in our homes. So, does that mean that you just now have no other option? No. Most of you are working, and if your company does allow you the after hours, which I'm sure they would, please just go in on the weekends, or during your study leave. If they've got a library, or the open plan, I suppose during working hours is probably not the best place to study, but definitely after hours you can consider it. Obviously, make sure that you're not distracted by your colleagues who are not doing CTA. I mean, the last thing you need is for some guys to come at your desk or at your cubicle while they going for coffee, and before you know it, you're going for coffee, and then you're sitting and chatting to the guy and complaining about you know this work or this module which is killing you, and your mark looks like this, and you don't know what's going to come in the exam, and now you've got to pass all five in one go, and you're tired, and you passed four last year and you didn't make one, and before you know it, your entire day is going to go. So then you might as well have to study it at home, right? The library is also a good place. It's a place which people have forgotten actually exists. So you would definitely be able to get some time there to study, and I think space as well. UNISA as well. If I'm not mistaken, I think you can study in the library. I think you can rent out one of the study rooms, or I don't know if that's what they call, but I know that you can actually study at UNISA. It's not a bad option at all for you. If transportation and stuff like that is an issue, and obviously you cannot go to work or to the library or to UNISA every day from where you are living, because maybe, as I said, to pay for the transport every day is an issue, or to get there in itself is an issue, then find a place within your house where you will not be disturbed and where you can study without distraction. And this is where your family members are going to have to play their part as well, because it's senseless if you decide that you're going to study in the dining room, for example, and then you've got your gran or your mother or your aunties who are going to be, throwing a tea party there, and then you can't study there. Or if someone's going to be, watching TV very loudly, or they're going to be playing music and things like that. Sometimes background noise isn't bad. I was someone who used to really like background noise when I was studying. It actually worked out better for me. But everyone isn't the same, and you need to know what your study pattern is. And to be honest, you should be knowing by now. I wouldn't expect that it's August and you haven't figured it out yet. That would be quite worrisome. But the first thing that you do need to make sure of in this entire process is to make sure that the place in which you are going to study supports effective studying. Because if it doesn't, you can have the best notes in the world, you can have the best understanding of everything as well. The fact of the matter is, if you cannot spend time studying it effectively and really, really, really getting to the crux of it, if you, like I said, you could have the exam paper with you, but if you don't have the space in which to go through it properly and in detail, it's going to mean nothing. There is no video series or ebook or set of notes that is going to be able to fix this. This over here is something which only you can do, and it's something which you need to do, and it's a reason which a lot of people fail. I don't think that at this point it's because you guys don't understand the work. I think it's literally a case of where your studying space isn't conducive to effective studying, and you sort of do a high level of studying instead of doing it in the proper detail which you need to do it in. And the moment that happens, you're asking for trouble. And it's like that with anything. Say I'm shooting this video now. If I was doing this in a mall, for example, I wouldn't be able to sit and go through any of the points in detail. It would be very rushed. It would be very distracting. There'd be background noise. You guys wouldn't be able to absorb much from it. You guys would get the feeling that, I'm sort of just skimming through the points. I'm not going into the details. I'm not going right into the nitty gritty of what you need to do. So this is your first point, and if you haven't sorted this out, the rest of the stuff is going to fall apart. So please make sure that if you haven't done it yet, look, it's not over. You've still got time to study, but make sure that your studying space is sorted out by all means necessary. You do need to make sure that this first point is ticked off and that this is under control. Right. So that's it for the first points, right? Please do keep an eye out for the next video, and this is where we're going to be discussing organizing your notes. So obviously, you guys would be having tons and tons and tons of notes by now, and you probably don't know where to start, and it's definitely giving you anxiety. I know I used to experience that a lot. So we're going to be going through how to organize your notes, how to make sure that you cover what's relevant, and that you actually make sure that you organize them in such a way that you know what you have, you know what you don't have. Right? But that'll be in the next video. That's not in this video. Please, as I said, make sure that you've clicked the subscribe button and you'll receive a notification of the upload for our next video automatically. Right. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like this video if you feel that you've received some value out of it. Please do comment in the comment section below. If you have any feedback, if you have any suggestions, by all means, we want to hear from you. This is supposed to be an interactive process. So we don't study in silos. We don't study by ourselves. We don't study individually. Nobody is successful by themselves. That is something which, yeah, it rings very true. So please, if you do have any comments, if you do have any feedback, whether it's positive or negative, please do let us know, and we will see you in the next video.